Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Hello, all of my beautiful friends. Welcome to Bailey Cat Nectar. Welcome to Bailey. Yeah, Bailey Nectar Cat, Bailey Cat Nectar, Bailey Meow, Bailey Perfect. Okay, never mind. Bailey Cat on the Prowl Creations. It is good to have you here. As promised, I am going to do up this elf hat because y'all thought it was cute, and I think y'all fell in love with it because of these silly little ears. But we're going to show you how to make this hat, which is like stupid easy. Silly easy. You're going to need a couple of jingle bells to add to the very tip of your crown. You are going to need some yarn. In this instance, I'm going to be using a Caron Big Cake. It is a worsted 4-weight. The color is Toffee Brickle. I didn't want to have to go through color changes, so I wanted a self-striping. We'll see how this one turns out. The idea is to have some fun whipping these up just for the fun of it. Then I am going to be using Bernat Premium. It's also a 4-weight yarn. This is the color Parchment, and this is what I am going to be using to make the elf ears. You will not require a heck of a lot of this yarn, trust me. You will need to make 2 of these. I've already made up one, and this is what you are going to make up. What I have done is I weaved in to the back of the ear to that center point, because that's where it's going to get sewn on, is around this area here at the very end of your first round. And those stitches, that's where you're going to be attaching it onto the hat. So I've already done that, and I brought it forward, so this way I'm already there. So when I go to sew it onto the hat, I just have to start sewing it on. You're going to need a darning needle, of course. I've got my smaller one here. I also have my little threader. This thing works like a charm. Thank you, Mama G. I absolutely love these. I'm going to have to talk to you about getting my hands on a few more of these, because those would be really awesome in giveaways. You're going to need a pair of scissors. And you're going to need at least 1 stitch marker or 2. That is the ideal. I always use stitch markers to mark off my first stitch. I don't care how experienced I am as a crocheter or inexperienced I am. This always helps you to find that first stitch and never miss it, and results in perfect tight projects when you're finished with them. So that is everything that you are going to need. I'll be using a 5mm crochet hook. And I'm going to start with my colors here. I'm just going to put this on the side. Bear with me for a moment. I'll be right back. All right, so we're going to start with the actual hat itself. Like I said, the color is Coffee Brickle, and it is a Caron Big Cake 100% acrylic 4-weight yarn. To begin to make this elf hat, you are going to need to make a magic circle. When I make my magic circle, it is the easiest thing possible. I wrap my yarn around my finger as such. Then I pull this one just backwards a little bit that way, so that this one here is exposed. And then what I do is I grab that from behind and I lift it up and I pinch. And then I grab my working yarn over, and I do like a slip stitch or a chain one whatever you want to call that, in order to secure it. Now, the tricky part is going to be the first couple of rows, because we are going to be making the long part of the cone. And this is what I'm going to be showing you today, is to do the long cone elf hat. Okay, so let's get started. I have my magic circle, I have my yarn, and I am going to start with a chain. I'm going to go right in and I'm going to do a double crochet. I am going to mark that double crochet, and I'm going to place 4 more double crochets into that circle. At the end of this, you will have a total of 5 double crochets. That's 3, that's 4, and that's 5. Once you have done your 5 double crochets, you will cinch that closed. This is now the top part of your hat. This is your cone. So you can cinch that a little bit more if you want. I'm just going to cut that down a little bit because it's too long and I know it's going to get in my way. All right. So now what you're going to do, and we're going to be doing this in the rounds. So the only time we're going to slip stitch a stitch is when we get to the very, very, very end, and I will show you why. The preference is to do it in the round right now. So what I am going to do is, now that I have my 5 double crochets, I'm going to go directly into my first stitch, and I am going to place a double crochet, like such. So you yarn over, you go under your 2 loops, you pull up your yarn and you come back through. You have 3 hooks on your yarn, on your hook, 3 stitches on your hook, yarn over, you go through 2, yarn over and go through 2. Now I'm going to mark that first stitch again, and I'm going to place 4 more double crochets. And the trick to the beginning part here, guys, is stick your finger in the middle of it, because it's very easy to not find your stitches where you want them. So it just helps you guide. So now you're going to do 5 double crochets into those 5 double crochets. So that's now 2, 3, 4, and 5. Bye. Come here. Where'd you go? All right. You're going to do that 1 more time. So 1 more round of 5 double crochets, placing 1 double crochet in each of those 5 stitches, and then I will meet back up with you. All right. So what we have done, just to recap here, is we made magic circle. We placed 5 double crochets into that magic circle. We pulled it shut. We did a round of 5 double crochets. Then we did a second round of double crochets for a total of 3 rounds of 5 double crochets. Now we're going to start increasing. So what I am going to do is I'm going to remove my stitch marker. And we're going to place 2 double crochets into that very first one. That's 1. You're going to mark it off. And 2. You're going to place 1 in the next one. You're going to place 2 in the next one. One in the next one. And 2 in the last one. And now you should have a total of 8 double crochets. Now what you're going to do very simply is you are going to place 1 double crochet in each of those 8 double crochets. Starting with the first one, you're going to go in and double crochet and mark it off. We're going to do 2 rounds of 8. So do 1 double crochet in each double crochet for a total of 8 for 2 rows. And I will meet you back up when we have finished completing 2 rows now with 8 double crochets sitting in there nicely. And as you can see, we're developing the comb. Ta-da! All right, so do 2 complete rounds. So 1 round was you started off with 2, then you crocheted 1 double, then you did 2 doubles, then you did 1 double. It gave you a total of 8. You did 1 double crochet all the way around for 8, and you're going to do 1 more round of 8 double crochets, and then we are going to increase the next round. I will meet you back when I have done my next 8 double crochets. All right, I have come around to my second row of 1 double crochet in each of the 8 after I increased it to the 8, and now we're going to increase it again. We're going to do the exact same thing. You're going to place 2 in the first one, and you're going to mark that very first one. That's 1 and 2. And now you're going to place 1 in each of the next 2. 1 and 2. That is your repeat here. 2 double crochets in 1 chain. 1, 2. 1 double crochet in each of the next 2. 1 and 2. Two double crochets. Now I want to see how many I've got here before I tell you what to do in that last stitch. Let's just count what we've got going on here, because I like to end up with even numbers on each of my rounds. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, let's try that one again. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The idea here is I would like it to be 12. So I am going to place 2 double crochets in the last stitch instead of doing 1. And at the end of this round, you will have 12 double crochets. Now you're just going to go and you're going to do 1 round of 12 stitches, starting with your first replace your stitch marker in that very first stitch and place one single double crochet in each of those 12 stitches. So that was one. I will meet you back up when I have done my round of one single double crochet in each of those stitches. Alright, so I've done my rounds of 12. Now I'm going to increase it again. Now, just to let you know, there's no rhyme or reason as to how many stitches in between I'm going to increase it. The idea is to grow this to the point where it is a smooth transition somewhat before we get to the main body of the hat. You don't want to grow this out and increase stitches too fast because you want to create that cone. So this is why I am doing it the way I am. There is a purpose and goal to get to. We will get to there, and it won't take too long. Not doing it with double crochets, guys, but I'm just saying the idea is to grow it slowly. This was also done color controlled. I am not color controlling the one that I have right now. All right. So we have 12 stitches here. I am now going to place 2 in the very first one. So that's 1. And I'm replacing my stitch marker. And that's 2. In the next one, you will place 1. In the very next one, you will place 2. 1 and 2. 1 in the next one. 2 in the next. You all continue that away around. And I will meet you back up at the end. So it's 2 in one, 1 in the next, 2 in one, 1 in the next. We will see you when we get back to your stitch marker. Alrighty. Alright, so if you're following around with me, you will now have 18 double crochets. Go ahead and place 2 rounds of 1 double crochet in each of those 18 stitches. So we just increased that round by doing 2 in the first, 1 in the next, 2 in the next, 1 in the next. We now have 18. We are going to do 2 more rounds of 1 double crochet in each of the next 18 stitches. I will meet you back when you have done those 2 more rounds. Alright, so I have done my 2 more rounds of 18 double crochets, and this is what it should be looking like so far. Now we're going to do another increase around, and we are going to do it 2 double crochets in the very first stitch, 1 double crochet in each of the next 2. Then it's 2 double crochets in the same stitch, 1 double crochet in each of the next 2. 2 double crochets, 1 into each of the next 2, and I will meet you back up when we get back over this way. I will meet you back up over here, where we get over here, and where we started. So, to reiterate, you're going to place 2 in your first one. That's 1 and 2, and then 1 in each of the next 2. 1 and 1. Then you're going to do 2, 1 2, and then you're going to do 1 and 2 in the next one. Go ahead by doing that all the way around the hat. 1 and 2, and then 1 and 1. 2, 1, 1. 2, 1, 1. That is what you are going to be doing all the way around, and I will meet you when we get back over this way. All right, so I have come around to the end of that, and I have finished with my round of increases, doing 2 in the first, 1 in the next 2. Now I'm just going to simply place 1 double crochet into each of the next stitches in this round. You should have at this point 24 double crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Oops, down here. 6, 7, 8. I know how to count, guys. Keep doing that all the way around, guys. I'll meet you when we get back to your stitch marker, okay? You should be doing 1 double crochet all the way around till you get back there, and you will have 24. I'm now back at my stitch marker. I've just done 1 double crochet in each of my 24, and now we're going to increase it again. Always starting off with 2 double crochets in the first stitch. So that would be 1. I've lost track of what round we're on, so I hope you're just following with me and just kind of marking this down, because like I said, there is no rhyme or reason to how we are increasing it. The idea is to make it a gradual, so it doesn't look like a Hershey's Kiss. Like, we don't want that. We kind of want that gradual. So we're going to start off here. We had 24. Now we're going to do 2. That's 1 and 2. And again, we're going to do 1 in each of the next 2. 1 and 1. So the repeat pattern again is 2 double crochets in 1 stitch, 1 double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. 1, 1. 2 double crochets in the same stitch, followed by 1 double crochet in each of the next 2. Go ahead and continue to do that, and I will meet you back up when we get back here. All right, so if you're following around with me now, after doing that increase around, you should now have a total of 32 double crochets. We're going to increase this next round as well, because I want a total of 36 double crochets. All right, so this is how your cone is starting to look. So I have 32. I want a total of 36, which means I need to increase by 4 more stitches. So I'm just going to place those increases randomly around the hat for a total of 4 increased stitches. I will start off in the first one by placing 2 double crochets. So that'll count as my first increase. That's 1 and 2. So that's my first increase. I need to do 3 more increases before I reach over here. So go ahead, place your increases anywhere you want. Just make sure you have a total of 4. You started off with an increase. Do 3 more increases. I will meet you back there. You should have a total of 36 stitches by the time you get back over there, and we'll see you then. All right, I have done 4 more increases to give me a total of 36 double crochets. On the round before, we had increased it to 32. Now we have increased it to 36. Now what you are going to do, that you have 36 double crochets, is you are going to go ahead and you are going to crochet 3 more rounds of 1 double crochet in each of those 36 stitches. So go ahead and crochet 3 more rounds, 1 double crochet in each of those 36 stitches, and we shall meet back up with you when you have done that. Okay, I have done my 3 additional rounds of 36 double crochets. Now we are going to increase it again. So we're just going to keep on building this part here slowly, guys, until we decide that we have our cone part long enough. Now this is the size right now of our cone that will be hanging down. I still want this to be a little bit longer. So again, we're going to just continue to do some increase rounds. So you're going to start off with this one. You have 36 already. So now you're going to place 2 in your first double crochet. You're going to mark that off. That's 1 and 2. Then you're going to do 1 in each of the next 3. 1, 2, and 3. Then you're going to do 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. And then you're going to place 1 double crochet into each of the next 3 around. 1 and 3. Followed by 2 in the same. 1 and 2. And then 1 in each of the next 3. And then 2 in the same, 1 in each of the next 3. You're going to continue to do that all the way around, and we will meet you back up when we get over here. All right, so if you're following around with me and you did that, you will come to find that you have 45 total crochets, double crochets. I want 46. So I am going to actually place 2 in my last one instead, so I will have it. So my last one will be 2 double crochets, 1 double crochet into each of the next 2, and then I will end off with 2 double crochets. That will give me 46. I will now just go around and place 1 double crochet in each of those 46 stitches. And we will meet you back up when you get back to the next row. So right now you're just going to place 1 double crochet in each of those double crochets, and there should be 46 if you did what I did, which was added in an extra one at the end, because I want my numbers to be even going around. You'll understand when we do that. Once you have done that round, we will meet back up with you and we will do another increase round. We have goblins in my sink. Oh my gosh, I hope you guys didn't hear that. That was not my stomach. Okay, just joking. We will see you when we get back up to the stitch marker. This round is 1 double crochet in each of the 46. And this is what it should be looking like so far. All right, guys, I have done my round of 46. Now we're going to start the next round. Now I want to increase it to 56 stitches. So I am going to place 2 double crochets in my first one. I will mark off that first one. And there will be my second one. I want to place 9 more additional increases throughout the hat. That will bring us to a total of 56. And then you will do a round of 56 double crochets. The next round, you will do the exact same thing. You are going to start off with 2 double crochets in the first one, and you're going to increase that round to 66. And then you will do 1 round of 1 double crochet in each of those 66. Then you will do 1 more increase round of 10 increases in that round to bring you to a total of 76 double crochets. Once you have done that, we will meet back up and then I will show you what we are going to do from there. So each round is going to be an increase of 10 stitches. We're at 46. I want to go to 56. I'm just going to place them strategically around and then do a round of double crochets. The next one I will do 10 increases again, strategically around anywhere you want, and then do another round of 1 double crochet in each of those. That will be 66. Then you'll do 1 more round where you do 10 increases, and then you will do a round of double crochets in each of those 76. Once you have got to that point, we will meet back up with you. This is what it is looking like so far. I'm going with the colors here. I'm kind of hoping something's going to change soon. But yeah, by the time I get to 76 around, I'm sure I'll have another color or two starting to blend in. So once you do that, guys, I will meet back up with you. Go ahead, continue to increase each next round by 10, but you are going to do an increase of 10, then a row of just 1 per stitch, an increase of 10, 1 per stitch, an increase of 10, and then a row of 1 per stitch. At that point, you should have a total of 76 double crochets. Once you have done that, I will meet back up with you then, and then you will see how the hat is starting to shape. All right, and we are back, everybody. So once I did my increase rows, I did, like I said, we went from the 46 stitches, we increased it to 56. We double crocheted around the 56. Then we increased the next one to 66. Then we double crocheted around the 66. Then we crocheted 76. And that's what we are going to finish with. And you're going to find that might be a little bit loose around your head. If you want to do less stitches than 76, go ahead. If you want to do 74 or 72, that works best for you. That's fine. I'm just making it so that it's a little loose. So once I did my 76, or increased to 76 stitches, I did 4 more rounds of 76. Now what we are going to do is we are going to finish off the hat. Now on this one particularly, I am going to do a ribbed finishing. And as you can see, this is what it's looking like so far. It's like really goofy. And I was thinking my very, very, very last round, which is going to be single crochets, I am going to do in this yarn here, which is Pipsqueak in white, just to kind of give it that snowy look around the rim. So I might do 1 or 2 rows of single crochets using this at the end. But for now, what we are going to do is we are going to, before we even get to that, is we are going to create 2 rows of back post and front post crochets. So after doing 4 more rows, after I did the 76, so it's now 5 rows really of 76 after the increase, you're now going to start slip stitching into your first stitch, because that's what we want to do. We want to get into there. So this is where we are going to start. And what you are going to do is you are going to chain up 3, 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to put my little stitch marker in there like I always do, because you know that's what Bailey does. All right. So what we are going to do is the exact same stitch that we just chained up from. We are going to do a front post double crochet. So to do a front post double crochet, you yarn over, you go into your stitch. Where am I here? Right. You go into your stitch from underneath, and you bring it up on the other side, kind of lifting that stitch up. Yarn over, come through, yarn over, go through 2, and go through 2. You have just now created a front post. Now we are going to do a back post. So you are going to yarn over, and what you are going to do is you're going to go in from the back of the stitch. And, whoops, hold on, come here. This is hard to do on camera sometimes. You go into the back of the stitch, and now what you're doing is you're pushing this stitch back. You're going to yarn over, you're going to draw through that stitch, and complete your double crochet. Next stitch will be a front post double crochet. So it's here and here. Yarn over, go through 2 and go through 2. Back post is you're going from the back to the front to the back, yarning over and drawing it through that way, and do your double crochet. Again, front post around the next one, back post around the next. That is going to be your repeat around this round. You're going to do 1 front post, 1 back post, 1 front post, 1 back post. And you're going to continue doing that all the way around the hat until you get back to your stitch marker. You should be ending with a back post double crochet. We will meet you back there once we get there. So that is what you're going to be doing from here, is front post, back post, front post, back post. And we are doing that as the ribbing around this hat. So you're going to continue to do that all the way around until you get back to your stitch marker, and I will meet you back there. So I am coming up to my very last stitch, which is in fact a back post double crochet. Oops. The idea is to make sure that the stitch stays, right? All right, your back post. What you are going to do is you are now going to slip stitch into the top of your, where you have this, or actually your first one. So you can actually remove that. And you're just going to slip stitch into the top of that chain there, because you did chain 3, so you're going to slip stitch into that chain 3, bring that through, and I'm going to fasten off here. We're only doing the one row of the front loop, back loop only. I'm cutting it off here because now what I am going to do, now this is all totally up to you. I'm also, because this is the starting color, I'm going to cut a small piece because I'm going to need it for the bells. For the jingle bells. For the jingle bells. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put that yarn away, that specific yarn away, and pull this through. Alright, then you'll tie in the ends or whatever after you finish doing that. Now what I am going to do is I'm going to bring in the first color. Now before, the place where I did my slip stitch is where I'm going to bring it in, because I don't want it to be over there. So let's see. I mean, you can just incorporate this anywhere you want. And this is only if you decide that this is what you would like to do. Now, I've decided I wanted to give it a round or two of this. This is Pipsqueak yarn. It is classified as a 4-weight. And all I am going to do is I'm going to bring in this yarn, like such. And I'm going to chain 1 to secure it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go right back into that stitch, picking up the tail, and I'm going to do a single crochet. I'm going to go into my next stitch, if I can find it. My next stitch, I'm going to pick up the tail in the back, and I'm going to do a single crochet. Where we slip stitched, I am now going to try to pick up both colors of yarn to tie in those tails, and I'm going to do a single crochet. So I'm just going to do that all the way around the rim of the hat. I'm going to do 2 rows of single crochets in those stitches. Try to picking up those ends. Once you get to the end of it, don't worry about it anymore. You can actually just even cut it off now if you want, or move it to the back and just continue doing single crochets all the way around the rim of the hat. I will meet you back when you have done 2 rows of single crochets, if this is what you've decided that you wanted to do. All right, so I have done 2 rounds using Pipsqueak white because it's got that frosty look to it. that frosty, snowy type look to it. I mean, that's just what I decided that I wanted to use. You don't have to do it. I'm just kind of showing you some options on things that you can do. So when you are finished all of these rounds, if you have been following around, this is what your hat will look like. Now, believe it or not, I didn't really color control this. It's kind of funny the way it turned out. I'm liking it. I still need to sew in this end over here. But for the tutorial, I just want to finish this off for you and show you what we're going to do. Now, the same color yarn that you started with, preferably, okay? I'm going to have to take my needle out because I need it. And I'm going to thread the same color. I'm going to use Mama G's nifty little gadgets. I have other ones, but Mama G actually makes these guys. I mean, they are like, they're awesome. They really, really are. And all you do is basically you take it and you take one or the other end. If you're using thicker yarn, you would use the bigger end. If you're using thinner yarn, you would use the smaller end. And all you do is you take your yarn and you hook it around that little hook. And then you pull it through. Just like that. Do you see how easy that is? No more struggling to thread your needles. There you go. Now, my jingle bells, I think in lieu of the colors that I've got going on here right now, I think I'm going to use gold bells or silver bells. Say you silver or gold? Silver or gold? Let's see. I think I'll use gold. So I'm going to put 3 gold bells. See my little bag of bells? Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Okay, seriously. All right. So I'm going to put 3 bells at the top of this hat. Because we want Mr. Elf here to jingle. And what you are going to do, and if you'll notice on the top of these little bells, there is that little, I don't know if you can see it there. And the needle that I have in my hand actually is a really good one because it fits so beautifully in between. It's like wonderful. So the idea at this point is you're going to take the tip of your hat. Now you might want to kind of go in if you can. If you can get your finger all the way up there. Because don't remember, I mean, that was a little on the tight side. And you might want to just kind of, you know, play with that a little bit. So that the first 5 stitches and where you tightened it is there. But it's not really going to make a huge difference. You can pretty much see where that is. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to pinch that at the top. You're going to take the needle and you're going to put it in through one end and out the other. Very easy, guys. Easy breezy is what we're doing here. I don't want too much yarn sitting there as I'm going through. And I'm just going to pull that through like that. So this way I have something that I can work with. And all I'm going to do to add these bells is I'm going to add them on one at a time. So that's 1, 2, and 3. I have 3 bells on my string. I'm going to remove my needle. And all I'm going to do basically, guys, is I'm going to tie this on. I'm going to do a double, triple, quadruple, whatever knot you want to call it. And as you can see, as you pull on your yarn, it locks those into place. I like to wrap my yarn around a couple of times just so that it keeps them. And then I'll bring it around again. Get over there. And now I'm going to do a triple. I'm just going to do this 3 times because I don't want that to come out. So 1, 2, and 3. These bells aren't going anywhere, guys. Trust me, they're not. Nice and tight and secure, and then you're just going to cut off that end there. And your bells are now added. Da-da-da-dum. And you have your little jigglers. Da-da-dum. All right. You're going to take in this end here and you're going to sew it in as well into your white parts. I'm going to do that off screen because what I would like to do now is show you how to make the ears for this hat. So this is what we are looking at right now. And you are going to make 2 of these. And I'm going to show you how to make this. Right now I have this coming up through the front because I already weaved it into the back and brought it up that front. So I would be able to sew it on afterwards. Okay? So, to make the elf ears, you're going to make 2 of them. I'm using the Bernat. This is the color Parchment. It's also 4-weight. And I am using my 5mm crochet hook. So I haven't changed the side. So I'll just put that over there for now. And let's grab some yarn and let's make some elf ears. I'm just going to give myself enough here to play with. All right. And my trusty notes, which I have hidden underneath. All right. So to make the elf ears, they're really, really super easy. And they work up relatively fast as well. Again, you're going to make a slip knot. Not a slip knot. I'm sorry. A magic circle. But in this case, I'm going to wrap it around 3 fingers because I need my magic circle to be a little bigger because we're going to be putting a lot of stitches in that magic circle and slip stitch. You're going to chain up 3. 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to mark that off. I always do that. I'm sorry, guys. If that bothers you, I apologize, but I always need to mark off my stitches. Oops, I put it through the wrong one. See? See what happens when you don't pay attention? Goes through there. All right. Now what you are going to do is you are going to put 10 more, I believe it is. It's 10 more. 10 more double crochets into the circle. Where are you? Thank you. Now this tail, which is what you're going to pull to tighten, is going to get crocheted over, so it's going to be really nice and secure. So you start with a chain 3, and you are going to put 10 more double crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So counting your chain 3, that will give you a total of 11 double crochets coming up this way. Now what you are going to do is you are going to place 2 trebles into that circle. I'm just going to make that just a tiny bit smaller because it's too big for me. All right. So now what you're going to do is you're going to make 2 treble crochets. To do a treble crochet, you wrap the yarn around your hook 2 times. You go into your circle, yarn over and pull up a loop. You will have 4 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over, you're going to go through 2. Yarn over, go through 2. Yarn over, going to go through 2. Again, yarn over your hook twice, go in, pull up your loop, yarn over, go through 2, go through 2, go through 2. You have now completed 2 treble crochets. Now what you're going to do is you are going to add an additional 10 double crochets into the exact same circle. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I told you we were going to put a lot of stitches in there. You are going to pull on your little string to kind of seal that shut a little bit. And you're going to have to play with that because, don't forget guys, you have now placed quite a few stitches in there. And what you are going to do is you are going to slip stitch into the top of your first chain there where you've got your marker. You're going to do a slip stitch right into there. I'm going to pull that out and I'm just going to tighten the hole so it kind of shuts a little bit more. And it's going to give you that little funky looking look. All right, that's normal. It's supposed to do that. All right. So once you finish doing that, you're going to pick up your stitch again. And again, you are going to chain 3. One, 2, 3. Place your stitch marker back in there. It's always best, like, I find it just easier. It's like this way I'm not looking forward and or having to count. I know where it is because it's where I stuck my marker. And now what you are going to do, whoops. What have I done? Oh my gosh, guys, sorry. Okay, bear with me here. Seriously. All right. Starting to get cramps in my fingers. This is not good. Now what you are going to do is you are just going to very easily, you're going to place 1 double crochet in each of the 10 double crochets until you get to your trebles. So go ahead and place 1 double crochet into each of the next 10 double crochets. And then when we get to the treble crochet, I will meet back up with you. once you have got to your 10 double crochets and you've reached your 2 trebles, what you are going to do is you are going to place in each treble crochet, you will place 2 in that one and 2 in the second one. And then what you will do is you will mirror the other side. You will place 10 double crochets coming down the other side, and then you will slip stitch into here. So into each treble crochet, you are going to place 2. So that's going to be 1 and 2, no spaces. Into the second one, 1 and 2. Then you're just going to place your 10 double crochets coming down and slip stitch into where you have your stitch marker. I will meet you back there when we get there. Alright, so I've done my 10 double crochets, and now I am going to slip stitch into the top of that stitch there and bring it in. If you'll notice, you've got that funky, very funky little look, and as you can see, what the treble crochets are doing at the top here is making that little spot. Now what we're going to do in this round is we're going to create that little thing there to give it that point, and that's called a picot stitch. So this is what we are going to do. Once you have slip stitched into that chain, you're going to chain up 1. I highly recommend you mark that chain, because that's what you will be slip stitching into when you come back. You will place 1 single crochet all the way, including 2 of the treble stitches. Now before you get to the other 2 treble stitches, we have to do the picot. So you're going to do your 10 double crochets, and you're going to place a single crochet in each of the 2 trebles. And I'll meet you back when we do that. I will do this on camera while we're at it, because it's, you know, just fun and we can chit chat while we're at it. So I'm just going to do my 1 double crochet. Whoops. It helps when you go into both loops. It really does. OMG Bailey. All right, so we're going to do my 10 single crochets, and I'm going to single crochet in each of the 2 trebles that I have. All right, there's my trebles. And I gotta make sure I'm doing what I'm doing here. Let me see, make sure here. Right. 9, right. All right, there's my 2 trebles are there. And before I go into the tops of these 2 trebles here, what I am going to do is I am going to chain 1. I'm going to slip stitch in the middle there. I'm going to chain 3. Then you're going to go into the legs of your single crochet, the 2 stitches there. Drop a loop, pull through and come through. All right. And slip stitch again. Chain 1 and place 1 single crochet into each of the remaining stitches all the way until you get back to your stitch marker. And then what you're going to do is you're going to slip stitch into that. And you will fasten off. You're going to want to leave in a tail long enough to be able to sew the ear on. All right. So I would say maybe, you know, just to be comfortable, because it's no fun when you run short on your stitches. So you're going to pull that through. You can remove your stitch marker. Fasten that there. And voila, you have an elf ear. You can play around with it a little bit. Now what I'm going to do is, because this has already been incorporated, I'm just going to cut that. And then you're going to take your needle come on. I'm getting tired now, guys. Sorry. You're going to thread your needle. Oh, come on. Get in there. Thank you. And you're going to want to go, you can play around with that. You can make like a fake single crochet, which means, you go into one here and at the other. The idea is I just want to kind of bring it to the back. And then what I'm going to do is in the back here, I'm going to bring it up to the very end, or you can see it right there, because that's what you're going to be doing. So you're just going to weave that in until you get to that spot there. Pull that in a little bit. Voila, that's the bottom of your ear. And now you're going to want to poke it out through there, because you're going to want to start sewing it from that part, from this side, not the back side. Trust me, it's going to be easier. So you make 2 of these. And then you're going to take your hat. And basically the ears are going to get sewn on. I'm not going to do it on camera because everybody is going to be different and it's going to be more difficult. And I haven't marked it here. So basically you're going to put your hat on your head. And your 2 ears are going to go basically one on this side and one on this side. Okay? And the idea is to place these ears at the same location when you put the hat on your head. Let me just get the, ouch, mannequin. I'll use this one for example, just because this one is the one that's closest. Ouch, ouch, ouch. I gotta stop smacking my knees. All right. So, I mean, the hat's going to be ginormous on her because I think this is really for a kid. All right. And as you can see, the bell is going to... All right. So let's say your ears are here, right? 1, and your other ear is there. So what you're going to do is you're going to pin one ear there, and you're going to pin your other ear on the other side. And then you're going to use just this part because you want this to come up, all right? That is if you wish to use the ears. So these ears actually will be covering your ears on your head. So it's like an extra warmth for your ears, if you want to call it that way. And voila, you have an elf hat. So I am going to leave you to your sewing in your ends and sewing on your elf ears if you decided that you wanted to add elf ears. And I hope that you have enjoyed this tutorial. Merry Christmas. Enjoy. Have fun. Use whatever colors you want to use. This one I said I used the Caron cake. The other one that you saw I made, I was using colors green and red and white and alternating them and switching them up. You choose the colors that you want your hat to be for tutorial purposes. I did it like this. I hope you have enjoyed the tutorial. You have fun making it. Don't forget to make your little ears if you want them and get them on. And if you can, please, once again, I'm going to ask, send me a picture of your finished work. I love to see when somebody makes one of my patterns or does something up here. I like to see the pictures. So please, please, please send in pictures if you decide that you make this elf hat. I would love to see your version of it, the colors that you chose, and what you did. Until then, everybody, I pray that you stay well, stay safe, stay inspired, stay blessed, and remember to do all things with kindness. And don't forget to give me those thumbs and subscribe if you want. All right, everybody, stay blessed. Have a great day. Enjoy the pattern. Have fun with it. Bye for now, everybody.